Hello ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Rails&Games playing City Skylines. Today we are going to do some things, as you see, and we're building a tram network. That's one of the things that we're doing. So here we're plopping out the route for what will become tram line number 1. It will be it's a short tram line. It goes from the unnamed mixed district to and the farm district to the Mulberry commercial estate over Warrington and north of Fairfield. Yeah, I think it's Fairfield. Yeah. Now overlooking this roundabout, I have found some weaknesses in it, and it's that every time someone's going to cross the road, there's a conflict. So we're doing a grade separated pedestrian junction from cars. So we want to utilise the junction. We want to utilise the junction as efficient as possible from a car point of view, or car buses and things like that. You could see it from a pedestrian point of view, but that would be something else. So in relation to the traffic flows that we have, we've chosen to do this. So now we're sort of getting the nail through the hay, up and over, okay. Making little connections. That's all right. Then it's some slippage road there. And then up and down, up and down. It's a bit tricky to get everything going, you know. You wanted everything to be like where you want it, and sometimes that can be a bit tricky to get things in the right places, you know. You have to turn off on and off some tools, you know. You can choose a grid or something like that. That might help sometimes. No, overlooking if the tram route has caused some traffic. No, it's not a problem. We have there's just a few cars behind the tram after that it stops. Yeah, as you see, the design is such so that you saw it when the tram stops, it just blocks all the traffic behind, or car traffic and like road traffic, we can say. It's not all traffic. Pedestrians also counts traffic, if you're going to be honest. Anything that moves on a piece of infrastructure is traffic. Or traffic can even be defined as something that just moves and takes up space. So pedestrians move and they take up space, so it's traffic. There you see a lot of traffic. Yeah. I think I can only mention one thing, and that is we added. We added an area where we found that we started off building cycle paths, but then we found that we want to reduce the amount of motor cars, so we built pedestrian paths. And maybe you're going to see in this video, we're already zoomed past that, but we'll see if you'll see that. But I think so that I think that you'll be able to see when I'm fixing that. That was a bit of a spoiler, but you know. So here we're overlooking 4 bus routes, I think. We increased a little bit. We increased the capacity on the grey line, which is line number 3, I think, if I'm correct. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's another thing. We're adding a nature reserve, or an ANOB, area of natural beauty. Although it's mostly a forest and some stones, so it doesn't really motivate to be an area of natural beauty, but we just call it Chester ANOB, and it basically forms as a green lung in the city, so we don't get it might cause a bit of a spread in the city, but it's important to have recreational areas. And here we see, okay, people get with the bus. Well, a bit of a jam there, but it will Happens from time to times. You know, you want to get those words out of your mouth. We just upgraded the roads there to from gravel roads to paved roads with trees on the sides. Now we're extending this area further to the northwest or whatever, just further along the highway. As you can see to the right here. Yeah. So I think this will be residential zones or commercial zones, but they're generally mixed. So I think it's 90% residential and a little bit of offices, and then you got some commercial areas. So we just draw the power lines, and we see a lot of people walking there. Not walking, but cycling, I think. Yeah, yeah, we're extending the network up and over, up and over, up and over. To the sides, the classic one, you know, you sort of have a straight path in the middle, and you have 90-degree angles to the paths to the sides there. It's an easy way, but it's not. Like if you're going to talk from a traffic perspective, to have slip roads or connecting roads that are in 90-degree angles, we'll encounter that people need to slow down, and from a perspective where traffic only comes from, well, most traffic only comes from one direction, that is not optimal. But if you say traffic comes from 4 directions, you could have that sort of junction. If there is some problems, then you could always add slip roads to it. Now, I've never experienced a cycle jam or a cycle jam or a, what you can call it, say, pedestrian jam. Maybe it's possible somehow, but I've never seen that, and I've looked at YouTube and things like that, I've never seen that. Maybe it's impossible. Maybe like they like go through each other. So no matter how much pedestrian traffic there is, there cannot be any jam. That would be unrealistic. Now we're adding the posh mall because we want to unlock a monument called the Hadron Collider or the Fusion Power Plant. It's like a monument they can unlock if you do certain things, and these monuments are quite OP. We're later in the series we'll overgo these monuments and actually unlock one of them, but you'll see that later. It takes a while to unlock them, so it's not the first thing that happens. Now we're analysing the traffic flow here from that slip road from the main road onto our spaghetti looking junction and to our cool looking roundabout. And we have some merging jams as well. Well, not jams, but it's holding up traffic a bit. It looks busy, but it's flowing all right. However, there's some hold-ups, some hold-ups sometimes. It's not a big issue really. Now we're overlooking here. They're merging. This is a bit of weakness of our junction here. We knew that before. If it's becoming overloaded in the future, we will not bother too much. It's like that. Now we're overlooking traffic here on the same road, but from another angle. And we're seeing that traffic flows all right. There's sometimes hold-ups, but you can't really. I think you can expect that when you have so high traffic volumes that there are some hold-ups sometimes. But if it becomes more congested, then we might consider doing some things to change things. How they are. Yeah. There we're trying using stop signs to help the flow on the main road to the so that the vehicles turning on from the garbage facility to the main road does not slow up traffic too much. Now we're getting big. we're getting big. Right, we're going to extend the area further along the highway. Now we see, oh god, there's a railway in the way. Well, we got to move it, it'll destroy it completely. But you know what? We're going to make a big curve. Like a big curve that really slows down train traffic. That isn't really healthy, is it? But that's how we do it at the moment. I think we're going to change that. I changed my mind there. I was like, I can't have those tight turns, you know. We got sold it another way. So we do a sweeping turn. And then just a tunnel under the road and then up again. That looks better. Now extending the 4x4, the classic one, that's 5x4. This has become a bit of my classic style of building my areas, because I find it useful building that way. You get a lot of space in between the areas. That is useful for cycle paths, roads, maybe really big buildings and things like that. Space that you feel like if you just build a very big gridded city, you might have to just do some twerks and tweaks at some places and move a lot of zone buildings to fit maybe that extra road that you want, or that big building, or that cycle path you want to get in the middle, or you know what I mean. You get space that you need, and also if you don't really use it, it's a good. You can think like this way. Okay, it's a good recreational area for people living in this in my city. You know. You need some green lungs, as you say. As we say. As you say. I don't know what you say, but as I say. Well, green lungs. You can always say, and then you say, recreational areas, green belts, because London, in the 1930s, they had problems with, they didn't really have problems, but it was like, we want to avoid urban sprawl. It was out after, I think it was after the Second World War. So what happened basically? There's an example of projects that got stopped because of this green belt, and it was the Northern Heights plant. They want to build the Northern Line from London to Elstree. I think it was Elstree. Yeah, north of Edgware. Elstree South is one of the stations that they didn't build, and it was because of the Second World War, so they stopped the whole construction project. So they got some pieces. They got a bridge, so they had the brick arches, for instance. But they didn't get. And then you got the tunnel from Edgware. You can still see the sites. You can still see signs from today where the line would have gone if the Northern Heights plan would be realised, but never became realised due to the Second World War, and that they want to avoid urban sprawl. So they said, "Oh, we're going to greenbelt," and you know what? I think Elstree was in that greenbelt, so they were like, "Hey, you're not allowed to build there anymore." So that basically stopped the project, and there was a few other things that also stopped the project. But check out there's a video about this subject, and it's called Unfinished London by Jay Foreman. He's doing a Ring Away video as well. It's quite interesting to look at. So I'm going to add the link to his video in the description below. So that's quite interesting. Now we are overlooking traffic on the merger, or not the merger, but the road that joins the highway from Anchor Industrial Estate. Now we're adding electricity because we've got to basically add electricity to, I think it was the garbage plant or the industrial area. Yeah. adding in more residential buildings. We'll see they're going up quite fast. We're adding like 4 schools there. You know, I think that was 4 high schools. We really needed school capacity. No, oh my god, there's a traffic jam. Oh my god, we need to fix that somewhere. And how do you fix it? Well. Add more lanes. But you really don't fix traffic that way. But because there's one thing called induced traffic. And it's basically if you build more roads, more people will go by car because they'll find it more convenient to go by car. That's how easy you can describe it. But we just choose this problem. I mean, to solve this problem, but just going from a 2-lane road to a 3-lane road there, where it was a 3-lane to 4-way lane road. So that maybe we're going to fix that problem then. Now we're zooming in on the. Yeah, we're adding the railway connection, which we could have done so much earlier, but we haven't done that. But now we're adding a railway connection to our city, so our tourists can come by rail and not only by car. So there you see a one-way railway or a single-track railway. They are one-ways in this game, but maybe someone knows that there's a mod somewhere where you can have single track railways that are bidirectional, so a bit more realism there. And you maybe want to use it for local railways, like your commuter railways, sometimes, not always, because the busy ones shouldn't have single track because it's eating a lot of capacity. It's very low capacity. It's not eating a lot of capacity, but it doesn't provide a lot of capacity. That's what I want to say. Now we're building a giant roundabout, like a giant version of that little roundabout we built before, you know. Is this one going to be in a good angle? We'll see. Yeah, this is good. But quite fast has become jammed. So we'll have to deal with this junction. But we're adding little pedestrian paths so that pedestrians don't feel like they have their connections cut. So we're like, we're gonna add 2 lanes of have 2 lanes of traffic. Sometimes it can actually help to have 2 lanes of traffic instead of 1 in a roundabout, but sometimes it doesn't, and that's when most of the traffic just going say a simple left turn, a simple, you know, there's simple where they have to take the first exit on the roundabout. Sometimes even the second exit, they still tend to use the outermost lane. But if they go there to the 3rd exit, then it can be quite useful. Even sometimes the second exit, as I said, then it can be useful to use the inner lane. And a lot of coal power plants. You know what? That is going to be changed. That's the only thing I say. It's going to be changed. Because coal power plants are not sustainable. We're adding 2 lanes there. We're going to see if it helps the traffic flow. You see on that little, but it's, if it helps the traffic flow. And now we got a bit of a hold up there. We're just like, no, we're not going to bother about that, are we? Or are we? No, we're like, let's don't care about that. We're just living our life, and oh well, there's a little bit of traffic jams there, but we don't bother about that. We just do it. We're just extending our city even more that we like doing so much. Now, classical rectangular shape. I mean, he must. Feels like soon he must change his way of building his suburbs. It becomes so monotonous. It becomes so monotone. Just building the same type of neighbourhoods all the time, over and over. The same road design. That's monotonous. Monotonous. Yeah. Whatever. But it's a well-working design, so you don't want to change that too much. but it could be actually good to use the good experience that we have from this type of neighbourhood and make another type of neighbourhood that is a little bit better than this type of neighbourhood. Maybe so. And it could be that you actually think like where you pretty much know all the details before. You pretty much know all the details. You know that you're going to have a bus stop here, you're going to have a tram route there, you know, a tube station there, or a train station there, whatever. Then you're like, okay, where we're going to have schools, where this and that and that. What is the road design? When I build, I think I want to expand my city. I have this working frame for building a neighbourhood, and it's basically using this road design that I use. Add some cycle paths, add some pedestrian paths. Most times, sometimes I only prefer using cycle paths, but then I find out that I still need to add pedestrian paths, so it ends up that I add pedestrian paths as well, and then I see what happens. I don't know how you guys plan your districts, but I just plop them down and let's look what happens, and then we fix the problems as they arise. For instance, overflow of traffic. If you're looking in my video, you're going to see that I'm going to do something quite important to fix the traffic issue, actually to reduce the amount of traffic of the private vehicle type. So yeah, but now we're finding out that we need to fix the traffic problems in this neighbourhood. So we're trying a solution here, but we don't really like how it's done, so we're like, no, we're not going to do it that way. No, there's a bad angle there, we just do that. No, okay. Are we going to leave it there? Are we? Yeah, it looks like that. It looks like that. Yeah, so guys, it was great to have you here watching my episode of City Skylines. So don't forget to press the like button and the subscribe button, and stay tuned for the next episode where we are going to add a metro extension, some industries, some offices, an upgrade to the natural reserve of the ANO Bay, and more. And don't forget to check out my Patreon. To round off this episode, I wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.